Sound check.
Test, test, test.
Test. Test. Test. Sound check.
Test, test,
Test.
test.
Test. Okay, I hear myself. Test.
Cool.
All good on your side?
Yep, I think so.
Test. Test. Okay, I hear myself. All right. Hello and welcome back to another broadcast of bookish things. Avery Wolf here.
Mason K, hi. Happy
Hi.
March, happy early
Ha-
Easter,
Happy spring.
happy spring. That's
Happy
right.
belated St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
All that. I guess start off. Anything new with you?
No, I guess another year older, another year wiser this month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mason's birthday was earlier this month.
Mm-hmm.
And
I will not disclose my age, but yes, another year
but
older.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you look very youthful.
Thanks.
Very youthful.
Thanks. Oh man. Wait. I think. All right. What about you? What's new with you? How's the baby?
Bib is good. Um, what's new from last month? Um, he's he's standing now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, he's a little maniac. He gets from point A to B really fast now. He loves Miss Rachel.
Yep.
Loves Miss Rachel. Whenever he hears her voice, he perks up and he smiles. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I witnessed it. He was like a little zombie just standing there staring at her.
He's like peeking over his playpen.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He steps
yeah,
on, he grabs like his pillow pen, he just steps on it, finds a way.
yeah, he steps on his books now. I don't know if you saw it last time, but he'll like climb onto the basket of books and like look over. So I had to take that out. Um, but yeah, not much. I've been mostly indoors this month. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been taking up a lot of my time. Aside from Nolan. Um, so yeah, I didn't really get as much reading done as I would have liked because the game is very long, but it's very entertaining. Like there's no boring point like at all, at least yet in the game. So it's always kept me like engaged.
Well, makes
But
sense. It is a Final Fantasy game. They tend to be long,
yeah.
especially
Um,
when you're doing like side missions and.
but well, I think like since this is like one of my favorite Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
games, I find it more like engaging and intriguing compared to the other games. But yeah, it's a lot of fun and it's like it's beautiful. Um, I think this is my first Final Fantasy game on the PlayStation 5.
Oh, so you
So it
get
was
those
beautiful.
graphics.
Yeah.
It's
Like
beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful. Like I watched my husband play Final Fantasy 16, the the most recent one, and like I don't know, it's just like it doesn't hold up to like Final Fantasy 7, I think, because it's so like medieval. Final Fantasy 16 it seems like, whereas like 7 it's like more like dystopian fantasy. So I'm like more like attracted to that compared to 16.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
Anyway.
that's where a lot of my time went to. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I have to say I didn't read that much either. What was my excuse? Let me see. Huh.
Puzzling.
Yeah, puzzling and I don't know, catching up on shows, rewatching shows, and
What
oh,
have you been watching?
I just rewatched Parks and Recs. Parks and Recs. What else did I watch? I'm watching Sherlock right now, and
Oh yeah, I saw that there's a new Doctor Who
oh
out.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, oh, still going?
the new Doctor's out now, but I still need to watch the second version of David Tennant Doctor. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
um, oh yeah, the Doctor Who special. I need to watch that, and then we watched the first 3 episodes of the second season of Physical 100. Have you seen that show? The
Uh,
one with
the Korean one?
yeah, the buff Korean men.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it. I don't know. I'm just like I saw a TikTok of a clip of it that made me like uneasy. It was like a clip of a man going up against a woman
Oh
like in
wow.
wrestling or something, and I was like that doesn't seem like that's not right. But
Mm.
yeah, go on.
No, I watched that episode, and it was the I think it was the woman who chose the man. He
Oh, really?
she chose them like so physical 100, 100 contestants, the top 50 got to choose their opponents. So and that woman was part of the top 50, and when it was her turn to choose, she chose a man. And
Oh,
spoiler alert,
okay.
spoiler alert,
Okay.
she won.
Wow.
Yeah, she won.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, nice. Um,
Girl power.
yeah. Let me see. I know I watched something else, but I totally forgot what it was. um, yeah, no, since X-Men 97 came out, I was I started watching like the original,
Hmm.
and I was like, ah, nostalgia.
I know.
Um, but yeah, and then I'm trying to like get back. I got back into some of the games that I
You
kind of
DNF.
yeah, like I got back into Coral Island.
Hmm.
I got back into Sims. I'm trying to get back into Stardew Valley, but I don't know if I'm playing that right.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like either you like it or you don't.
Hmm.
Or like how far did you get? Like what season?
I'm still in the first season.
Oh, then that's
I'm on
fine.
the I'm on the fifth day.
Yeah. Oh, then
Yeah, and
um
yeah.
I have it on both the PC and the Switch. Um I got it on the Switch because like during quarantine I wanted to play it in Montana when I went.
Hmm.
But like on PC there's like so many mods, and there was a mod that changed the profile picture of each townsperson so that it was
Oh.
like kind of anime-ish,
Hmm.
and like everybody looked more attractive. I was like, oh shoot. It's like, hey Shane or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get that mod
Yeah.
if I do play again, which I'm interested because the DLC or the patch has a lot of interesting updates.
Yeah. I think I just don't like the fishing aspect. It's the mouse, like, oh, you gotta hold it at a certain point, but you can't hold it too much. I don't know, just like, this is too difficult for me.
It gets easy.
Mhm.
When you get like a better fishing rod, it gets
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah.
I think it's very similar to Fae Farm when it comes to fishing. I think.
I don't know. I don't remember how the fishing went. All I was trying to do was get my wings.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I was like, oh, got him. Okay, stop playing. Pretty much.
All right. Oh well. Anyways, that was
Anyways,
that was it. We did everything but read.
I still got some reading done, but just not as much as the previous months. So to start off, some of the prompts that we chose back in February were to read a green book or a book that reminds you of spring.
Mm-hmm.
However, reminds you of spring. The second prompt was to start or continue a series.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And then the third prompt was something that involves the ocean, which I started one, but I didn't finish. Hi, silly.
I don't think I ever completed that prompt.
Silly. Hold on. What's up? You need to go outside? Go ask your father. One sec.
No worries.
Go ask your father.
Ocean book.
Or
Ocean
she's hungry.
book. Yeah, I don't think I read an ocean book.
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries. I'm just
Shush.
trying to. Yeah, I don't think any of my books have any ocean theme to it.
It's fine.
If anything, it might have been the opposite.
All right. So, okay. So to start off, um, I guess what's your lowest rated book?
My lowest rated book. Um,
Mine is, I think, 3 stars.
yeah, mine was about like 2.5, 3 stars. Um, wait, go ahead. I'm trying to remember. Oh, okay. I remember. uh,
Um,
you can go first.
I'll just start off with the book that I started, that has to deal with the ocean, and that's none other than Percy Jackson,
Oh, yeah, well, he is.
The Sea of Monsters.
And he
Sea
is
of
the son of
Monsters.
Zeus.
Not Zeus.
Poseidon.
um, but yeah, classic children's fantasy. Um, I picked it up and I was originally reading this to Nolan, but he did not care, so so I just started to slowly read it by myself. I read the first book like 2020, and I'm just now reading the second book. Um, Everybody knows who Percy Jackson is, right? So Percy Jackson is a demigod um, that has pretty much started a war amongst the gods because he's not supposed to exist. He, what's that word? His father broke a law or something. Um, and that's where the conflict happens. So I'm forgetting my words. Um, so yeah, so in this book, after the events of what happened in the first book, he is so Camp Half Blood is in trouble. Uh, Somebody had poisoned the magical tree that protects the camp, so monsters are getting into the camp. And Percy's friend is in trouble also, and so he has to go on a voyage to rescue his friend. And that's where the Sea of Monsters come into play. Um, I am only about like a third in, but so far it's really good. Um, yeah, it's a really fun read. If you like Greek mythology, it's like sprinkled all throughout. Um, and yeah, and it doesn't just like touch on the most popular Greek mythology stories. It does like bring in like unfamiliar monsters and stuff that you might not be familiar with. So yeah, Percy Jackson,
Percy
Sea of
Jackson.
Monsters.
Yeah, and there's a there's the Disney reboot on Disney Plus. So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah. um. Okay. So, like I said earlier, I don't think I read any ocean or water themed book, but I'm trying to think. But this book that I read, I gave it 3 stars. It kind of the cover kind of gives me spring vibes, but now that I think about it, I'm trying to remember. Uh, it was kind of it happened like mid, maybe late spring, early summer in the book,
Okay.
but I mean, can't beat this cover.
Oh,
The worst.
oh my
The
gosh!
worst best man.
I thought we read the same book, but it's a very similar title.
The Worst Best Man by Lucy Score. It is a romance book or contemporary fiction, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just basically this woman is the maid of honor of her best friend's wedding, and of course there's that cliche that, oh, the best man always gets with the bridesmaids. And I mean, come on, it's right in the title.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of like grumpy sunshine trope with enemies to lovers type of thing, like CEO billionaire trope.
Okay.
Like she's like this hard working warrior woman who takes no crap from no man, and he's like, oh, I'm a CEO billionaire that doesn't give a crap about anybody. But I
Mm-hmm.
but meets this wise cracking woman and then falls in love. That's the trope of this
Romance
romance.
ensues.
Yes, romance ensues. So, I mean, it's the same formula. What do you expect? Like they they meet, they fight, they hook up, they fall in love,
Mm-hmm.
problems, they break up. I mean, there's nothing new. It's just one of those, I don't know, it's just one of those, like, what is that word? I am not explaining myself. It's Friday, you
But
guys.
just a
It's
feel
one of
good
those,
read,
yeah, it's just one of those guilty reads.
guilty pleasure.
Yeah, those guilty pleasures that you just read for like the chaos of it. Like you already know what's gonna happen, you know how it's gonna end, and I can't expect much from it. It's
Mhm.
Lucy's score. I think she's probably going to be, if not already, the new Colleen Hoover. Because Colleen Hoover, what, got canceled?
Oh yeah.
And then Lucy Score, like her books are popping up everywhere, like on my Kindle. Like I see her books in Target, in stores. I'm like, might as well. And then I think I said this before, like way, I like her way better than Colleen Hoover books. So
Mhm.
wait for that. And yeah, I mean, I'll probably from the rate I'm going, I'm probably gonna read a Lucy Score book like once a month, just to get that
That itch.
that itch. Yeah, just to scratch that itch, because can't go a month without reading at least one romance. Well,
Oh, that's cute.
actually, I read most of my books have like some sort of romance in it. Now that I think about it, be it fantasy, a thriller,
Mhm.
like I don't know. That's just me. I love romance.
I think kind of.
Yeah, yeah, but like I gave it a 3 because I don't. I didn't really like the the love interest. I thought he
Oh,
was like,
a douchebag.
yeah, a douchebag.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's not the worst, pun intended. It's not the worst book, but it's not one of her best from the other books that I read from her. I just picked it because of the cover. It was so cute and beautiful, and I was just like, it reminds me of spring.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, but it's blue. Blue ocean. And I think about
Oh.
it.
Um. Okay. Uh. How many Lucy Score books are there? Isn't there like
A lot. A
I
lot.
know of the main three,
Um,
and I know there's like two others that recently came. I think.
I don't know. There's a few.
Okay.
Um,
Alrighty. So my next book, I gave a 3 star. Okay.
you finally
I
finished it.
finally finished The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So I initially started this back in 2020, and then I got halfway and DNF'd it.
Mhm.
Um, and then 4 years later, here I am. I pick it up to try to finish it because it was just staring at me from my shelf. And, everybody has so many good reviews about this book. And I was like, okay, maybe I just didn't give it a chance. And I finished it, and my opinion hasn't changed. So, um, if you don't know what this book is about, it's about this girl who makes a deal with this sort of godlike being um, to live forever. However, um, the con of that deal was that nobody will ever remember her or her name. And like she can't, like, for example, like she can't take a picture of herself, it'll like blur, or she can't like write anything to be like known in history or whatever. It'll just um blur or disappear or something like that. Something will happen. So we just follow her through like centuries of her life, through different time periods and whatnot. And it goes back and forth in time. So I'll go from the past to the present, to the past again, to the present. And that's what like pulled me out of the book because I need it to be like linear, I guess, is that the word? Have a linear like storyline so I'm not like confused as to where I am at that point of the story. Um, but yeah, so that's what I didn't like about it. But yeah, eventually, like near present time, she finds a man who random like she finds a man that mysteriously remembers her name, and then romance ensues. And yeah, so that's that. It does have beautiful writing, but I gave it a 3 star because I had to push through it a majority of the book. So, Invisible Life with Addie LaRue.
All right. Well, I mean, at least you finished it after
I
four
know.
years.
I'm just like, no, I could unhaul it or something. I don't know.
Let me see. So it breaks my heart to say this. I feel so bad, but it is what it is. I gave my next book. I gave 3 stars. It's the and we mentioned at our last book cast, a start of a book or continuing series, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
I finished Throne of Glass. It's a reread of the first book in the Throne of Glass series, and I gave it a 3 stars. Only because this is one of her earlier works. Like, she was still trying to find her voice. Her writing was not the best. It's
Mm-hmm.
very YA, chosen one. Um, but I mean, it's just, I just had to push through it. I mean, for those who haven't read a Sarah J. Maas, like Avery Wolf here, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of her early series, her beginning series actually. It's basically a, it's kind of like a Cinderella retelling, but with assassins. So there's this big competition, and it's basically a battle royale type of thing where each, oh, actually not battle royale because battle royale ends in death.
Yeah.
um it's kind of like The Bachelor but with assassins. Yeah, Cinderella or The Bachelor with assassins. There's a series of competitions, and usually the last one to complete the task either goes home or ends up dead. And there's also this mystery going around the castle, like someone's killing the competitors, and the main character, she tries to survive the competition, plus trying to figure out who's killing the assassins and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Very, yes, very self-explanatory. Basically, it's very like the writing, it's not the best. But then again, it's her earlier work, so I'm trying to give it a benefit of the doubt. As the series progress, it gets better. Honestly, like the third book is probably my favorite out of all the 7 books that's out. Maybe because like it's starting to get more juicy. Um, but yes, the it's Stone of Glass. It is what it is. It's like very teenager angst, but
Mm,
she's like 19. Yes, very
okay.
angsty teenager stuff.
Okay.
And then yeah, I know like it said it was like they described it as a Cinderella retelling, but then when I first read through it, I was like, I don't see it. And then the second book, a second reread, I still don't see it.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, there was a ball, I guess, and I mean, the prince falls in love with the poor girl, but I mean, that's about it. That's the only comparison I can see between the two stories. A prince falls in love with a girl at a ball.
Oh.
But the prince already knows the girl because the prince recruited the girl to participate in this competition. So, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I I pushed through it and then I don't know when I'll ever usually when I reread the Throne of Glass series, I skip the first two, honestly.
Oh,
To be
well,
TBH, I just skip the first 2 books and then I just start with the third because I just want to get into it. But then when I read the book, I was like, "Oh yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, there's this character here. Oh yeah, I hate this guy." There was
oh,
a few characters I totally forgot about until I read it. I was like, "Okay."
okay, okay. Are you gonna, did you continue on with this series?
Yeah, I started the second book, but I'm taking my time with it cuz since it's a reread, I don't have the urge to like just, you know, rush through it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to take my time, get read some other books and then just go back to it when I have the feeling to read it.
Okay, okay. Um, let's see, my next book. Okay, so my next book, I rated a 3.5. Uh, and that would be
Oh
Horror Store.
yeah.
So this one is by Grady Hendrix. It's the same author that wrote My Best Friend's Exorcism, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, those books. So this one, um, this is my second read by him. I was honestly like intrigued by I was like immediately pulled in by the cover because I was
Mhm.
like, wait, is that IKEA? And like, oh, wait, there's like something going on back here. And yeah, so that's what pulled me into this book. I was like, say no more. It's a haunted IKEA store.
Say no more, fam.
Like, that's all I need to know. So yeah, I picked it up and yeah, so I don't know what I was expecting. Like, but it's like so I guess it's like the most or I should say what it's about. Um so there's strange things going on at the store. It's not in an IKEA, it's like a competitor that's very similar to IKEA called Orsk. And there's strange things that happen after closing. And when the openers come in, they find like stains on the furniture, like broken furniture, broken vases, stuff like that. and their sales are down, plus like the damages. They need to investigate what's going on um before like their higher ups come visit the store. So they're kind of like pressed on time before that happens. They so the manager tasks a couple employees to hang back after closing to pull like an overnight shift to kind of patrol the showroom to see like if it's somebody like you know breaking and entering or something like that. Yeah, so that's where the story begins. But yeah, I don't know what I was expecting from this. I think I was expecting something more clever when it comes to like what was actually going on, like in terms of the paranormal activity. But the paranormal aspect to this book was very basic. Like it's kind of like what you would see like in a children's like haunted house movie or something. It's like, oh, it's like this ghost you buried like this place is built on a ancient burial ground. Like it's like the most basic storyline when it comes to like the ghosts, I guess. So I think that's where it was just like meh for me. Um, but like, despite that, it did have some fun elements to it. Like, for example, like at the start of every chapter, there would be like a Orsk or like an IKEA advertisement, and it would kind of look like the IKEA instructions for when you build the furniture.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like the blueprint of the furniture, like of a couch or like the shelf, and it'll have like an advertisement of like, oh, this couch like completes the room or something like that. And then like gradually as you progress in the book, like each chapter's advertisement gets a little more and more like sinister.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that was like a fun element to it. But yeah, it was yeah, the execution was like meh, but it did have like a lot of fun qualities to it. Um, but yeah, horror store.
Probably not gonna look at IKEA the same way, especially the instruction manuals.
I know. It's like, yeah,
Where's the
yeah.
foreshadowing?
All
Okay.
right.
My next book, I gave it a. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 3.8, almost a 4, but not quite.
Okay.
Um, very spring. It's very spring. It's very flower forward. It's Forget Me Not. Where is it? Oh, can't read it. Okay.
Is that on Kindle Unlimited?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I saw that one.
Yeah, Forget Me Not. Very pretty cover if you can see it. Very floral, very spring. Um so it's a very, very cute read. It is a second chance love story. It's
Mhm.
about a wedding planner who meets up with her ex-boyfriend who's a florist, and guys who work in florist shops are becoming more sought after, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
hmm And so it's like when you were describing the premise of Addie LaRue, like the future and the past. So it's kind of like this, but a little different. She in the present it's her perspective, in the past it's his perspective. So
Mm.
um there's always the, what's it called, the differentiation
Yeah.
of perspectives. So every time it was her voice, you know it's like present day, and same thing goes for him. And so in his perspective in the past, he he basic it's basically the experience of meeting her and falling in love with her. And
Mm-hmm.
for her, and since it's the present day, it's her trying to cope the separation between the two. Of course, they meet again in the present day because she gets hired to plan this influencer's wedding, I guess, and she has to work with him because he's like friends with them or something. And then so basically she can't do her job without him, and you
Vice
know,
versa.
vice versa. He's the flower guy, you know?
Okay.
Um, and I don't know, it just like when I was reading this book, I could just like, it definitely gave me spring vibes. Like all the flower talk, all like all the descriptions of these pretty flowers. I'm like, oh. And
What
I,
flowers?
I mean, the wedding's in a park full of flowers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very cute. I I gave it a 3.8, almost 4, because at one point, like, this girl this girl is stubborn AF. And okay, so this book is Grumpy Sunshine second love story, and like he is the grumpiest of the grumpy. Like the
Okay.
grumpiest of the grumpy. I don't know how she fell in love with him, to be honest. He always spoke in grunts. He always gave like one word, two word answers, and I'm supposed to believe that she fell in love with him, but I guess action speaks louder than words at this in this case. Um
Okay.
and but this girl right here, stubborn. Like, I get it. She was trying to make a name for herself in the wedding planning business, but there was a scene that happened, and she just went about it all wrong and risked her life. And I was just like, are you serious, girl? Your job can't be that important right now. So
Yeesh.
I was like, okay, whatever. Just keep reading until like until we get there. Like, it's so weird. It's her in her perspective, the romance is so slow burn, but with him, it's just like high heat.
Oh, interesting.
I was just like, okay, come on. But yeah, very cute read for the spring. And I don't know, this cover is so cute. I love this cover.
You
Yeah.
gonna get the physical copy?
I don't know.
You're like, nah, we didn't like it that much.
Yeah. Because sometimes like the physical covers are way different than the Kindle covers, the ebook covers, you know?
Yeah.
So, I might, who knows? If I run across, I'm not going to go actively looking for it, but if I run across it at like a Target or something and there's a sale, like buy one, get one, I'll be like, okay, I'll pick it up.
Book math.
Book math, you know? I need my book trophy on my like,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
trophy.
That makes perfect sense.
You read the book, now you need the trophy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, if I see it, then I'll probably get it. Just if the cover's nice and if the cover's still the same.
Okay.
Book math.
Okay, so my I guess I'll give it a I gave it a 4 star. Let me pull it up here. That so this is the one I was like, did we read the same book?
Oh, the worst.
So this
I was
one
looking at that
is
book too.
yeah, I was like, wait, similar titles. Um, so this is a short story. Part of that short story collection that recently came out on Kindle Unlimited by various romance authors. This one is about so this one's like I want to say like 120-ish pages, so like don't expect too much from the story. But we follow a girl that's I think she's like I think she was a nurse. I read this like late last month. So I think she was a nurse who was taking care of her grandmother that's about to pass. And we also follow a guy that is, I think he's like an apartment manager or something. But so where this title comes into play is that the male love interest slips a note onto the girl's car on behalf of his brother. It's like a Valentine's Day note, but it turns out that he slipped it onto the wrong car. And so when the girl received it, she had like no idea who this person was, whatever. And then when the love interest when the love interest brother told him that was the wrong car, he, went back to the car and left another note apologizing and whatnot. So this story is like a lot of anonymous notes back and forth and like acts of kindness. Like, for example, he noticed her tire was a little flat, so he pumped it for her. And like as in thank you, like she noticed like the back of the note was like a piece of pet store shopping bag or whatever, so she bought him like a pet store gift card. So like all of this, they haven't met each other in person, it's just notes back and forth. And so yeah, it's a very cute, fast read. Yeah, ultimately they find out that like, it was that person that was writing the notes and romance ensues. That's how the story goes. But yeah, it was a cute, fast read. Worst man ever.
All right. Okay. Well, this book, my last book, is actually the last book I read this month. It's a 4-star. I gave 4 stars. Yeah, you know what? I think it deserves a 4 stars. It is this very, I don't want to say famous. Well, it's been going around Book Talk.
Oh yes. I kind of wanted to read that, but I was like kind of iffy about the gore and stuff.
You know what? The gore is not that bad.
Okay.
Like, it's everything that you find in a romance book, but serial killer style. You know what? It was okay. So, do you know what this is about?
I think I forgot, but yeah, it's about two serial killers that like fall in love,
Hmm.
essentially.
Yeah. Um. So this book kind of gave me that show You with Penn Badgley season 2 vibes, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
So
got you. I got you.
um so two serial killers run into each other, and basically they hold a competition, an annual competition, to see who's the best, who can make the kill first, basically. And they meet up
Mhm.
every year, I think around the summertime, and they pick a target, and it's first, what is it? Um, yeah, first shot, first kill.
Okay.
And of course, they fall in love. It's in the premise. It's right here in the back. They fall in
Yeah.
love.
Romance ensues.
Um, there is a list of trigger warnings. Just so you know, there's a list of trigger warnings right in the very first, like, first second insert. And I was worried about when I read the trigger warnings. I was worried about that. I was like, and then that that book guy on TikTok, Easy Cats, the guy with the
Mhm.
glasses who
Mhm.
plays the tambourine, you know,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
when he talked about it or reviewed it, he said that, oh, it wasn't that bad. And then I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. And like, you know what? It's not that bad. All the stuff that they mentioned in the trigger warnings, it was tastefully done. It's not like in the trigger warnings they mentioned cannibalism, but you know what? It's not that bad.
Okay.
um So what I liked about this book, there's not really that much of a spoiler. There's just how do you say that word? Homages?
Homage.
Homage?
I don't know the plural. Homages.
Homages?
I don't
They play homage to like famous serial killers, fictional and non-fictional.
know. Okay.
So real life killers and fake killers like Norman Bates, and of course, since they mentioned cannibalism, Hannibal, the
Mhm.
H Holmes, things like that. Very, very. What is that word? I don't know where I was going with that word, but yeah, I mean, it was a fun read. I think it's a low stake romance. Like
Okay.
everything you read in a romance book, like you get it in this book, but with serial killers. Very you vibes. You. And if you guys have never watched you are missing out. You should just watch the first 2 seasons. That's it.
I mean, the third ended up being like good at the end, and the fourth season was kind of like whoa, because it takes place in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and just like the writing style and how it played out is a mind trip. So the last season's good.
All right. Good to know. Um, but yeah, if you want to read this, you could.
There's a page at the forefront of the story with all the trigger warnings.
Yes. But after that is a playlist of playlists that music recommendations for each chapter. I mean, I didn't listen to it, but still, like, that's pretty cool. The author took time for this book, and it's gonna be a trilogy. It's a trilogy. So
Oh,
the second book is coming out in June. I'm kind of excited to read it. I kind of wanna I kind of want to know what happens next, but there you go. It's a trilogy. If you want to borrow this, you can. If you want your own copy, that too, that's cool too. But let me know. I will give this to you next time I go to your house. Um,
okay.
but yeah, and look at Blackpink in your area. Every time I looked, every time I saw looked at this cover, that's the first thing that pops in my head. Blackpink in your area.
Oh,
You
gee.
start reading black.
Yeah. BB. Blackpink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Blackpink in the area. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that on the playlist? Just-
I don't know actually. I didn't really. There's a QR code and everything for that for this
oh,
playlist.
oh, geez.
Oh, I have Apple Music. I should. What's it called?
Again.
Scan it. But I don't think I've heard. Oh well, Radiohead. I know who they are. I'm not into this type of music. Oh well, there's Lana Del Rey, 21 Pilots,
Mm.
and that's all I know. Oh man, if it's not
Well,
K-pop, I don't know. If it's not late 90s, early 2000 music or K-pop, I don't know.
uh, okay, so my next book, I think I gave this a 4.5. But this the duology I would give a 5 star. But I like the first book more than
That
the
book.
second book. Um, so so if you don't know, Divine Rivals is about um, two writers that work at a newspaper company that are competing for a promotion, and in the background of the story, there's like a big war going on, and this is a romantasy, so there's like fantasy elements in it, but it's not like in your face. It's just like more in the background, and it's like tastefully done. Um, and yeah, and so these writers somehow end up riding each other, and then that's where like the romance ensues. Blah blah blah. The reason why I liked this one a lot more than this one was because all the slow burn romance was in this one, and that's what was making me like, uh, you know, like enjoy every single bit of it. Um, so yeah, and the second book, we're more facing the fantasy elements now. We're in the war, whereas this is more like slow burn romance. This is we're in the war. How do we like get through it together? You know what I mean? So I have a thing for slow burn romances, so I gave this one a higher score and I enjoyed it more. And yeah, but together it's a good duology. It's the first book is on Kindle Unlimited. If anybody wants to pick it up. But yeah, it's one of my favorite duologies of this year so far. Um, did you have any more?
Um, I did start reading Powerless.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I started
how
reading
you
that.
how you
I'm,
liking it?
I will save my opinion for next month.
Okay, so my last book, and this is very flowery and spring looking. I read Map of the Otherlands. It's the second book of the duology Encyclopedia of Fairies. If you don't know Encyclopedia of Fairies, we follow Emily Wilde. She's like an academic scholar or whatever that her profession is in fairies, and she travels up north somewhere in like the Nordic area to research fairies in the Fae. And yeah, so her goal is to complete her Encyclopedia of Fairies. And like during her research, she's joined with one of her rivals, Wendell, and it's close proximity, rivals to lovers tropes, and throughout the book, she's like noticing strange things about her rival that have to do with her profession. So there's that. It's very cute. I love the banter. I guess you would say it's a cozy fantasy. And then in the sequel, so her love interest is at risk, and so she takes it upon herself to travel to one of the other doors to the Fae realm in search for whatever is trying to kill her love interest. So pretty much what this one is about. And she's creating a map of the Otherlands, which is like, a map of all the fairy doors in the world. And yeah, it's a cute read. I gave this 5, both 5. They hold up to each other. Yeah. I didn't like one more or less than the other. They held up.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
it's rare for you to give books 5s. A lot, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I love the banter. It was cute and witty. I think like a big part of it was I related to the main character a lot because she's very socially awkward. Because like she's an academic, so she's more focused on her work, but she doesn't know how to engage with like the townspeople and stuff, and so she rubs people the wrong way just like because of her social skills. And like I was like, I feel that, I get you.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay. Maybe I'll give
Yeah.
it a chance.
Yeah, you can borrow it if you like. Either, yeah, any book. Um, but yeah. So
Mm, yeah, it was true. We both did not read that much.
oh yeah. I guess I've read two more, but they're manga. So hold on, let me manga. So Spy Family, I talked about this
Oh yeah,
before.
Spy Family.
So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but like with a daughter who is a telepath. It's pretty much the synopsis. Our main character, Lloyd, the father figure, has a mission which involves mainly the daughter to go to this high, um, what's that word? This very, like, good school academy. So he needs his daughter to get into this good academy in order to get close to his target. Um, but like it's so cute because his daughter isn't like the smartest, but she'll like use her telepath powers to like copy people's answers and stuff. Um, yeah, it's a very cute story. It's found family. In this third installment, we mostly follow the mother figure who is an assassin. Um, and just like what she does, and then her family, and then we get introduced to her brother who works for the secret force. So we have another person that's like against them. He doesn't know his sister's an assassin. He doesn't know that her husband's a spy. Blah blah blah. But it's a very cute read. And then the next volume we follow we follow the family as they adopt a dog. They rescue a dog. This dog was gonna be a bomb dog, like a sacrifice.
Bomb.
Yeah, a bomb dog.
Aww.
But Anya, the daughter, ends up saving him. Like she can read his mind because she's a telepath, so she ends up saving him. And she finds out that the dog that she names Bond, so Bond is a dog that could see into the future. And so this whole family has like their own like special abilities. Super cute.
But wait, how does she understand a dog's thoughts? It's a dog. I know she's a telepath, but how can she read a dog's mind?
So she sees it in pictures.
Oh.
So like if if yeah, so she like if there's like a bomb that's set somewhere, like she could see it through his eyes of seeing the future, I guess. So
Dang, she must be Jean Grey status then. Or
Yeah, in
Phoenix.
terms of yeah, she doesn't have superpowers, but like yeah, she could definitely read everybody's minds and stuff. But yeah,
It's crazy.
she's very cute. She totally acts like a 3 or 4 year old. Um, yeah, it's very wholesome.
Nice.
And yeah, and that was about it. Um, yeah, and then I was like, since I was like playing Final Fantasy, I was so engaged in the game story that I was like in a reading slump the beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So like I picked up a lot of books, but I was just not in the mood to read them.
Same.
And then, but there was one book, um, like all the books I still want to read. It's just, I just need to be in the mood to read them. One of the books is Keeper of the Lost Cities.
Oh, I think I've heard about that book.
Let me pull up a. Okay, so this one, it's like,
Yeah, that one.
so it's like kind of like my Harry Potter series where you follow a young girl throughout like her school years. But yeah, like I always wanted to read it because I heard so many good reviews about it. But when I picked it up, I just wasn't in the mood, like I said. But like it was funny because when I started reading this, so guess where this book takes place?
Where?
Or San Diego. And so so the first chapter takes place in Balboa Park at the Museum of I think at the Museum of Man or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I was like, "Oh my god." And then it was like during like a time where there's like fires and stuff, like typical San Diego dry weather.
Mm.
And then like the next chapter, like they're talking about like running to the zoo because it was right there, and I was like, oh my god, so weird.
It's like you're there.
I know. I'm like, I know this. I know where they are. But yeah, that was like the fun part
That's funny.
about it. Yeah, I do want to continue it, but it's just I just need to be in the right mindset.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But
Well, speaking of picking up books and taking your sweet ass time, I picked up Guarded Treasure. Wait,
okay.
what does this cover remind you of?
I think of something like witchy. It
Oh,
looks magical, at least from my screen.
I can see that. But it is not that. Well, you know what? You know what? Who knows? Maybe it is magic. But it's kind of okay. It's the mummy. It's basically the mummy.
Oh,
It's
okay.
her her name is Edith. Does that sound familiar? Edith.
I
No,
What was
cuz
the main character's name in The
um
Mummy?
oh, it's Evelyn, right? Evie.
Oh, Evie, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah. That just reminded me of something to say, but go on.
um so I did pick this up, and it was giving me I picked it up because it was giving me the mummy vibes. And I love
Mm-hmm.
that movie. It's one of my favorite movies, Brendan Fraser. What? And then when I was reading this book, what is it? 26% of this book, I was like, okay, it's giving me too much mummy vibes.
Oh, well, does that mean you like it, or is it
I wanted there to be some,
difference?
different, like, you know, some other. It's just she's a librarian who who wants to dig for treasure, and American he's the brash American who's like who has a big mouth and very
Mm-hmm.
like rugged and stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's basically is the Mummy movie, and it makes me want to stop reading this book and just watch the Mummy instead. And
Mm-hmm.
and
Get it, I get it.
and I guess like she's like half Egyptian, half English, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like Evie, and he's they're basically Rick O'Connell and Evie. I
I
wanted
know I know his outfit looks like it too.
Yeah, he was described exactly as Rick O'Connell, like with the tan shirt and the gun holsters right here that's hanging on the sides. And
Mm-hmm.
then she's dressed like Evie in like the pencil skirt and the white blouse. And I was just like, ugh, okay. She has the necklace that turns into a key.
Oh,
Ugh.
okay.
I was like, oh man. I
Oh
I'll I'll
boy.
I'll read it. I'll still read it. I'll get through it. It's just
Just time. You need time.
I was like, can't is you basically just took the book and put it into words. Can't have like any what is that word?
Um,
Any uniqueness or
yeah.
uh
Originality.
yeah, originality. Like I get it. You got inspired by the movie, but still.
I know it's a little too close to home.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
But that was like the first 26% of the book according to my Kindle. So hopefully
it
it
changes.
changes. But by the sounds of it, they're about to enact a curse. So I don't know. I don't know. They're probably going to accidentally animate a mummy. Who knows? Maybe Imhotep will show up.
um, so so what that reminded me of, I was gonna say that this kind of reminded me of the Mummy in terms of the dynamic between the main character and the love interest,
Mm-hmm.
because she's like a scholar and she's like uh she's passionate about like the lore and stuff, whereas the love interest is kind of just there, and he's like knowledgeable from just experiencing it, like how Brendan Fraser's character is like, he was like a soldier, right, or
Mm-hmm.
something, and then he's familiar with the setting because he's fought there and he's been there, whereas she's an outsider that wants to you know research the artifacts or whatever. And that's kind of like the dynamic of the characters in this book, I feel like.
At least that's
Uh,
about fairies. I'm just reading
yeah.
another mummy book.
But yeah, it's just like something it reminded me of. I was like, oh. And like their banter, it's like bump heads. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like that.
I know.
But yeah.
Yeah, she even has the personality of Evie. Like, you fight for what you want. If you wanna go dig for treasure, you go dig for treasure, not because you're a woman, but
Mm-hmm.
because you got the know-how, the
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 knowledge.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. So, um, so I, so my parents are coming to town last couple weeks of April, so I don't think I could do the live stream in April.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just want to carry it over to the last Friday of May?
Yeah, sure. What? That's
Just
the 24th, the 31st.
uh yeah, we could do the 31st if that works for you.
That should be fine. If anything, I'll just let you know.
Okay. Yeah, so if any of the viewers would like to view our little bookish rant review book rec situation, you are more than welcome to join us. Um, so in terms of prompts, do you have any suggestions? Or we can always pull from the jar.
Let's see. It's still going to be spring, April, or May. Um,
Um,
you know what? Pull from the jar.
how many should we pull?
Let's do let's do three, and then depending what the three are, we might pull another one.
Alrighty. Okay, number one. A book that involves royalty. So that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A book with a tree or multiple trees on the cover.
Wait, so what? Trees or
Yeah, a book with a tree or more trees on the cover.
Okay.
Last. It involves music. That Blackbird and Butcher would have been the perfect because of the playlist.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like when you say music, like
So it involves somebody that plays an instrument, a symphony, a singer. Um, I don't know. Their passion is music or like music, or it's about a group. K-pop book. I don't
oh,
know.
okay.
Or Little Mermaid. She sings, right? I don't
Only in the
know.
movie. Okay.
Mermaids sing.
Oh yeah,
They
there's
are
sirens. There's
yeah.
sirens. Yeah, that's right. Oh, I don't think I can read another pirate book. I think I'm over pirates right now. Actually, you know what? I lied.
I tried reading all the Stars and Teeth again. I don't think I could do it. Like I was just like, I zone out. I even tried like listening to the audiobook and I was like zoning out. I was like, okay, I don't think I could do this book.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think one of my sequels is a pirate book. Okay. Okay. Trees on the cover. A royalty type theme. And underlying music theme. Okay. Let's look at my bookshelf.
yeah.
I need to get through my physical books. I need to get I need to get through my TBR.
Same here. I got my first art through Penguin Random House. And I'm kind of worried that I'm not gonna like it. Because, like, when you get an arc, you're supposed to post a review and tag different, people. And then this is just like a book I chose just because I was getting denied for like the other books that I wanted to get because they're like more popular. And so yeah, I'm kind of like worried. So this is the book I chose that I got approved for.
Prime time romance.
Yeah, time romance. Um, it's about it's about a girl on her 30th birthday, and she just recently she's getting over a heartbreak, and she wishes for like a happy ending, and then something magical happens, and she's taken somewhere else or something, and then romance ensues there. Blah blah blah. But yeah, we'll see. So hopefully I can knock that out of the way.
Right. Let me see.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything I'm missing? I feel like it's been a while since the last stream, even though it's like a month.
Not that I can remember or think of. I just one of those days where my brain
It's
doesn't work.
fried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already end of March. My birth month is almost over. It's the last. I only get like what 2 more days of being right.
Yeah, and it's Easter.
Okay.
Yeesh. But yeah. It's May 31st, guys. If you want to join in on our book a stream. Avery Wolf here.
Jason K, thanks for joining in.
Yes.
Hopefully our well, my subpar explanations weren't too discombobulating for you guys.
I know, same here. I feel like I didn't explain the books as well as I would have imagined.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have any comments or recommendations for books or whatever,
feel free to leave in a comment. I like romance, fantasy, and Avery likes thriller horror.
I like I guess I would say I'm well rounded, except for the nonfiction. I'm just like hesitant.
Yeah, same here. I don't really read nonfictions or biographies.
I'm not drawn towards it. Unless it's like somebody like I want to know the tea, but like
like the Britney
that's rare.
Spears tea.
Yeah, I needed to know that. I needed to understand. But yeah, other than that. Yeah. Thank you. See you next time.
Happy Easter.
Have a great holidays. I don't know what's in April.
April Fools.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know. Have a fun spring break, everybody. Stay safe.
Yes.
There's a storm coming if you're in Southern California.
Yeah. Fortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah. See you guys next time.
Bye. Bye.